Hey Stitch family, it's Andrew here. I hope you're having a great week. And if you're not, I hope that pretty soon someone else in the Stitch community is going to connect with you and brighten your day, because that's what the community is all about. Maybe this video is going to brighten your day. It's certainly brightened mine getting ready for it. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and I know I would be in a lot of trouble if I didn't get this video out to you before I go away, because I'll be away for a couple of weeks. In case you don't know, if you're just brand new and you've been living under a rock, a couple of weeks ago, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary as a community with something we called World Community Week. It was a way to celebrate the power of community to improve lives and basically just have some fun. Stitch has been going for 10 years. We've had some ups and downs along the way, but we've persevered and got to a point where we've got members in so many cities around the world. And so rather than having one big party, we said, let's have a party for the whole community where everyone can get involved. And so organisers around the community would host an event and encourage people to come along and celebrate this idea of the power of community. And to kind of indicate their support, members were asked to come along wearing red of some description. Stitch, as a way of kind of motivating everyone, we have some prizes. I'm going to talk about the prize winners in a little bit later on in this video. Don't go away. But we also are donating $10 to charity for any member who got involved that week, came along wearing red to at least one Stitch event. I haven't even gone through I started going through them just a bit beforehand, but there are so many and I'm just going to run out of time. I will be posting an update about how much we're donating to charity. I think it's going to be several $1,000s, probably maybe $4,000 or $5,000 based on the look of things, but we'll get the auditors in and make sure we've got all the numbers there so we can do that donation. But thank you so much for everyone for participating. Just remember though, it's not just about the charity, it's about actually the community itself. I was getting ready for this video, getting the photos ready. I'm about to show you all the photos that got submitted. Well, most of the photos that got submitted because there's some duplicates and so on. And my son happened to walk in. He said, Dad, I can see why you have been sticking at this for so long, because he could see the joy on my face, but also the joy in the faces of the people involved in the community. It really is fantastic. And that's kind of what we want from Stitch. That's all we want, is people to enrich their lives together and have a good time. Some of the messages we received were absolutely fantastic and a real testament to the power of community to improve lives. In fact, I've got there's a card you can probably see. So I'm fulfilling my promise to include the cards I've been given. There's another one from Debbie over here somewhere. She can't see. But by the way, if you have anything you want to send in, I'll put them behind me. You know, it's a great way to share and send messages from the community. But inside Stitch, members were posting stories about the impact on their lives, about Stitch being like family, and some of the stories of members looking after each other at the events I went to is really, really, really heartwarming. So thank you so much, not just for coming along to the events, but for actually just being a member of Stitch. Everyone who is part of the community and throws themselves into things like this are doing things to enrich the very fabric of our community. They were stitching everything together. And it's just so wonderful to see how inspiring you all are for the things that you do to make others' lives better just by showing up and having a good time. I love these smiles. So you're going to love these photos. So I'm about to show you all of the photos, and then I'm going to get into the prize winners. We've got a few small prizes. Don't get too caught up about the prizes because everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner in this, in my view. But we've got, I think there are over 117 events that were hosted across the community. Lots of people actually had other events on and they didn't make them a big red theme thing, and that's totally cool. But I think, as you see, some of these events, that the ones who got involved were really, really tremendous. And so I'm just going to blast them at you. Later on, I will share a link in the video below when we compile them into a photo gallery that you can look at more slowly. So they're going to come past you thick and fast. But it's really, otherwise we won't get through them if we spend too long. You can always slow the video down when you're watching it and pause if you like. But it goes for less than 2 minutes. So why don't we take it away? Here are all of the photos from Stitch's 10-year anniversary, World Community Week 2024. don't know about you, but every time I look at those photos, it puts a smile on my face. And don't worry if you didn't really get the details of where this was. Was that Brighton, South Australia? Was that Manchester? Was that Edinburgh? You can slow it down, and as I said, we'll give a full list of the photos once I get a chance and get back from vacation. But in the meantime, just watch it again, watch it slowly, and you'll have a good time. All right, drum roll, please. Let's get on to the prizes. And again, I don't want people to get too competitive about all of this. It's really just a way of enlivening the fun and recognizing some things that we wanted to call out. So we had, in our announcement about it, we had 3 prizes that we were giving out for the best celebration, the best dress crowd, and the best photo. Now, and there's some actual monetary prizes for that. Not huge. We didn't want to make it, again, too competitive, but just a way to recognize people and give them a treat. But there are a few other ones that we'd like to recognize just as honorable mentions. So these don't really fall into maybe any of those particular categories, but we think they're really worthwhile highlighting. The first one is for the best dressed individual, and that goes to Debbie from Sutherland. Here's Debbie. Like, incredible. In fact, I went to a number of events with Debbie over the week, and she had a new outfit on every single day. Quite incredible. By the end of the week, she was complaining about running out of red outfits. Not surprising, but she went all out on or Deborah, I should be saying, Deborah. We are very impressed. I didn't have an award for best dressed intentionally because I didn't want some people to just go too crazy, but Debbie went crazy anyway, and I wanted to share that. So well done, Debbie. Fantastic, and thanks for my card. I love it. Next one, calling out for just getting into the spirit of one, it's Anton from Taunton in the UK. Anton lives in an area where there weren't anyone around to come and do something, but he did it anyway, shared it with the community. Fantastic, Anton. Anton gets involved in a lot of the events and activities virtually in the community, but there's an in-person one where we went, and I love the fact he was there with some red cards as well. All right. Another honorable mention is best idea. This is Debbie and the group from New York who went whale watching. Number one, whale watching. Who knew you go whale watching out of New York? Obviously, it's a little bit up off the coast or something. But what I love about this is what they did to bring the heart symbol into their sign and their photo, but also into the photos themselves. And actually, I'm thinking, I don't know about you, let me know what your thoughts are, but this idea of taking a photo, we have lots of photos where people have their arms in the air, and that looks really cool, everyone having a great time, but also photos with the heart, it actually is really, really cool. I love it. There's something about that. So I think that's a great idea. I wanted to recognize them. Special mention for the best combination virtual and in-person events, and that goes to Austin, Texas. Darcy in Austin, Texas sent these in, I think, from memory. I don't have a list of who sent them. In many cases, I don't even know who organised the event. I just know who sent the photos in. So apologies if I get it wrong. But the community in Austin is really quite new, which is great. And they got together virtually as well as getting together in person. And that's a really, really great thing for people to bear in mind, that sometimes breaking the ice when you're first getting started, it's great to connect online because people find that less threatening, and then you've got a connection with people and you're more easier to find each other when you go to an event and so on. So good on the team from Austin for sharing that. Cutest photo goes to this group from Brisbane who spelled out the word stitch with their bodies. There are actually a bunch of really good photos from Brisbane. The Brisbane community is doing a whole lot of, I'm not even sure what some of the photos were, but you would have seen them just before. A bunch of really, really good ones. Biggest event goes to Vivian's event in Sydney with 44 attendees. Fantastic. This has a special, that venue has a special place in the history of Stitch because that's where we started doing a lot of our mix and mingle regular welcome events when we were just doing them in Sydney before we took them to the rest of the world. So that was fantastic. Now, coming up to the actual prizes for that we'd announced. The best dress crowd is a little bit of a tricky one because we actually had a tie, and it's a tie between Venus's event in downtown Sydney on a very rainy day in Sydney. I was at this event. You'll see there's a whole lot of us here. You can see it was decked out in red. Everyone went to and the extreme degree to get dressed up in red was fantastic. I think there was 26 people involved at this one. You've got people with roses in teeth and all sorts of stuff. Really, really cool. But the actual award, and my apologies to Venus, is going to go to our community in Perth, Western Australia, that also got dressed up really well. The team there, everyone was dressed up, great decorations, stitched t-shirts, the whole bit. And the reason that the tiebreaker that we gave to Perth, it's a slightly smaller event, but in the context of how quickly that community has grown, this community has only just got started relatively recently, and it's been driven a lot by Janine, who you can see in this photo, and a bunch of other members. And it's a great example of what we've been doing with our Pioneer program to get new communities started. So for a new community like Perth, that only like 6 months ago, there was really not much happening at all. To have an event like this just shows how fantastically enthusiastic the team is over there. And it's obviously very hard for a community like Perth to compete with something like Sydney that's going along for a lot longer. So we're going to give it, no, my apologies to Venus, but I'm sure I'll be able to buy you a drink and cheer you up somehow, Venus. But it's going to go to Janine and the community for Perth for this fantastic photo of what a great, well-dressed crowd. This is a community that's only been started for a little while, and people may not even know each other that well, but they've still gone all out and got dressed. I think that's just tremendous and really, really cool. It looks like it's taken in a brewery too, so maybe a beer tasting or something. That sounds pretty fun. Sounds fun. What do you reckon? All right, the next award goes to the best celebration. And this one was a pretty obvious winner. If you followed the discussion on the forums about the events that people were sharing, the group from San Mateo with Kim and Marguerite and all the gang, and apologies with these photos because the ones I got were a bit small, so I couldn't blow them up, but I put them all on one page. But check it out. They not only had special invites, every person got a character, they had line dancing, they had singing, they had karaoke, they made a video about the entire event. They made a song about Stitch. This group just went all out. It looked like a tremendous amount of fun. Kim and Marguerite have done a great job at spreading the word in the Bay Area, in the Southern Bay Area, in California. Really, really cool. So congratulations to both of them for the award. And the last award is the biggest one, which is the best photo. And this is really tough. There were so many good photos. And I just, sometimes even photos of a single person or the tiny group that's getting started in Glasgow. I was like, okay, what do we give it to? So we put it out to the team to just have a look and share what they thought about the photos. And it is this one from Mary and the group in Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley, who got together, got really organized, dressed up, decorations, signage, event. It's just such a happy sign. Love this photo. But as I said, I love every photo. But congratulations to Mary and the Los Angeles group. Mary's been a member for so many years with Stitch, and in the early days, Los Angeles is a challenging city because there's very limited public transport and big distances and so on, and it was very hard to get going because we hadn't really figured out how to start communities in new locations. But Mary just stuck with it. I kept on going, and then you look at something like this with all the smiles on the faces, and I think it's just made my day. As did all of those photos. So look, I hope you all have enjoyed looking at those photos as much as I did. It was a week. It was a crazy week. We're going to do it all again next year. So don't throw away those red outfits. And if in the intervening time between now and next year, World Community Week is going to be in the middle of the year. Every year we're going to raise awareness and hopefully raise money with other organisations as well. But if you see something in a thrift shop or you see something interesting that's red, just buy it. You might need it. All jokes aside, one thing that we did find as a result of everyone wearing red at events was that new members who were coming along, it was very easy for them to spot where the event was. In fact, I had a few instances of members who kind of got lost and they weren't able to find the event, and they spotted someone red, went up to them and said, "Are you a Stitch member?" Sure enough, they were, and they guided them in. So actually, it's something to bear in mind. If you are organising an event or an activity and you know there are new members coming along, either encourage them to wear red. You can wear red. I know it's sometimes a bit hard to find some red, but get a Stitch that hat from the Stitch store, or everyone just seemed to get really creative. It's actually a way of letting people know that they're part of the tribe, and I think while it always does get a bit nerve-wracking to dress up, just knowing that you're wearing something that kind of fits in with everything, I suspect kind of lowered the level of anxiety for some of those new members. So certainly the one in particular I spoke to, who was lost until she found someone wearing red, she was just over the moon about the red thing. So bear that in mind for your events going forward. All right, that's it for me. I'm away for a couple of weeks. I'll be working kind of every day while we're traveling, but I'm meant to be on vacation, so I'm not meant to work. I always get told by the team, Andrew, take a break. So if you don't hear from me for a bit, just assume I'm having a fantastic time sipping pina coladas somewhere. Hopefully that is what I'm doing. Look after yourselves, take care, look after someone else, and connect with as many members as you can, and basically just get into it, enjoy things, and I'll see you all when I get back. Bye for now.